Morning kids, today we're going to do 3 questions and we're going to learn how to compare fractions. Now in class we have learned 5 ways of how to compare fractions, and let's see how do we go about deciding which one to use. Okay, so the first question that we're going to do is 2/5 or 3/5, is it greater? Now, the first thing we think to ourselves is they give us a diagram, and obviously we do not have a picture of any circles, of any tiles, of anything, so we do not use the first method. There are no diagrams to compare. Next, do they have the same denominator? And we look, yes, they both have the same denominator, meaning that each whole is cut into 5 equal parts. So how do we know which is bigger? Now, because fifths are the same size, that is what we're going to write. Now, fifths are the same size parts. Now both are fifths, yeah? So now 2/5, meaning 2 pieces of fifths is less than 3/5. If we are comparing pieces of the same size, then obviously 3 pieces will be more than 2 pieces, and 2 pieces will be less than 3/5. So the greater fraction is 3/5. So which one have we used? The method we have used is number 2, same denominator. Now let's look at the second question. Is 3/7 or 3/12 smaller? Let's go down our list. Did they give us a diagram? Nope. Do they have the same denominator? Nope. Do they have the same numerator? Yes, they do. They have the same number of pieces. So this is 3 pieces of 7. So I'm going to write down. Yes, and this would be 3 pieces of 12. So now, when we have the numerators of this that are the same, we now compare the size of each piece. Now, when we look at 7th and 12th, we know that 12s are smaller. And let's write that down. And why are 12s smaller parts? Because when we cut the whole, into more parts, then each part is smaller. Yeah? For example, if you're sharing a pizza with more people, you're going to be able to eat less. Yep. But if you have less friends and you have to cut your pizza only into 7 pieces, then everyone's going to get a bigger piece of pizza, yeah? So 12s are smaller than 7s. So if I have 3 smaller parts versus 3 bigger parts, obviously 3 smaller parts is smaller than 3 7s. So because the question is asking me which is smaller, I'm going to circle this one. It is smaller. And let's move on to the next one. Is 4/12 or 5/8 greater? Now let's go down our list. First, we have no diagram. Do they have the same denominator? Nope. Do they have the same numerator? Nope. And so I'm going to go to number 4, which is to compare to half. Now let's look at 4/12 and let's compare this to half. Now I have to think to myself, if my whole is cut into 12 equal parts, what would a half be equivalent to? Now if there were 12 equal parts, half would be the same as 6/12. Now these are equivalent. If you cannot see it, you can always show them working there. Now if half is equivalent to 6/12, that means 4/12 is less than half. So I'm going to put an L here. Yes, and now let's move on. 5/8, I'm going to compare this to half. Think to yourself, what would be half if I had 8 equal parts? If I have 8 equal parts, half would be 4 pieces. Now if half is 4/8, that means 5/8 is greater than this. So it means 5/8 is greater than half. So I'm going to put an M to show me that it is more than half. Now I'm going to sketch a number line here. Yep. And I'm going to put in these two fractions on my number line. Because this is less than half, I'm going to put it to the left side. And because this fraction is more than half, it's going to be on the right side. Now just by looking at this number line, we know that 5/8 is greater than 4/12. Yep, so that's how we go through in our head which method we are going to use. These are 3 questions, and I have gone down the list to decide which method I'm going to use.